In a time long before modern times, there was a small village called Surya Langat, which depended entirely on the Surya River. This river is not only a source of water and life, but is also believed to be the abode of the village's protective spirits. However, the peace was disturbed when a fire dragon named Angakara appeared. The villagers begged the elders for help. The village elders finally summoned a legendary warrior named Veera Mandala, a swordsman known for his bravery and closeness to nature. Veera lived in a simple hut on a hill, far from the hustle and bustle of the world. Angakara is an ancient dragon that rose from the bowels of a volcano. Its scales glow like burning coals with eyes that glow red. The dragon descended into the Surya River and made it its nest, making the river water boil until the villages downstream ran out of water. The lives of the villagers began to crumble. After hearing the situation from the messengers, Veera Mandala decided to help. He carries his sword, Tirta Api, an ancient weapon entrusted to him by his teacher. This sword is said to be able to fight fire-based creatures. Along the journey to the Surya River, Veera passed destroyed villages and dry fields. He heard stories about Angakara's cruelty and how the dragon created a sea of fire wherever he went. However, Veera was not afraid. When Veera arrived at the Surya River, he saw the great dragon lying in the middle of the boiling river. Hot steam filled the air, making it difficult to breathe. The trees on the riverbank withered, and the rocks around the dragon turned red from the heat. Dragon Angakara Veera shouted loudly, his voice echoing among the riverbanks. "I, Veera Mandala, have come to stop the destruction you bring." Angakara opened his shining eyes. He stared at the small warrior with mockery. "Little human, what can you do to me? I am the eternal fire. Destruction and power are my destiny." Angakara spat out a large fireball towards Veera, but the warrior jumped nimbly, dodging to the right side. He swung Tirta Api, and a wave of water from the sword extinguished the fire that was burning the ground around him. The fight was fierce. Angakara swung his tail, hitting the ground with enough force to make the earth tremble. Veera tried to approach the dragon, but every time he got close, the dragon spat out fire or struck with its claws. Veera realized that the dragon had a weak spot under its chin, where its scales were thinner. However, to reach that spot, he had to pass through Angakara's large body, which was covered in hard and hot scales. Veera began to use his intelligence. He lured Angakara into a deeper part of the river, where the dragon had to stand straighter to avoid drowning. Every time the dragon attacked, Veera quickly dodged and retaliated with his sword, creating small wounds on the dragon's body. Angakara grew even angrier, letting out a huge roar that shook the trees around the river. The dragon spewed fire in all directions, burning a large area. But Veera took advantage of the dragon's anger. When Angakara raised his body for a big attack, Veera jumped onto a large rock and shot a wave of water from Tirta Api directly into the dragon's face. The water made Angakara's eyes blur for a moment. In that moment, Weira jumped high, using a large fallen branch to propel himself further into the air. He swung his sword with full force, stabbing Turta API right under the dragon's chin. Angakara let out a deafening roar of pain. The flames around him dimmed, and his massive body collapsed into the river, creating a huge wave that extinguished the remaining flames. The dragon's body sank to the bottom of the river, leaving only a cloud of smoke behind. Weira staggered to the riverbank, tired but satisfied. The Turta API sword glowed softly, as if thanking Weira for saving the Surya River. The villagers celebrated Weira Mandala's victory. The Surya River flowed clear again and life began to recover. However, Weira refused all honors. He simply said, "I only protected what should be protected by everyone." After that, Weira returned to his hut, bringing with him the lesson that courage and wisdom are the most powerful weapons against evil. The villagers still remember him as a hero, and every night of the full moon, they gather by the river to tell the story of the warrior who defeated the fire dragon.